My Gaming Edge.
Hey, what's going on, guys? CB here with MyGamingEdge.com. I know I've been away for a little bit in terms of making videos. Been busy in the off season, sort of getting accustomed to the new team, MGE, and their play style and how we're all going to fit in. So today I'm going to be bringing you a match from the Killer Edge off-season tournament that ESEA is holding. This one's against Check 6 and their new lineup, or what appears to be most of their lineup, on Granary. And I'm going to be talking about specifically decision making as a medic and how you need to have confidence when you're making these decisions. A lot of the lower and even mid-level teams don't have medics who are fully capable of understanding sort of game flow and how things are going. And it's so important that you can have full confidence in your decisions and go with them and not sort of just listen to maybe, you know, your pocket soldier or whoever's calling for the team, because it can make or break a push or even a round. So I'm going to be going over my point of view, and as well as switching between a few of my teammates at times and talking about why specific pushes worked or failed. And so probably going to make this a two-part video, do the first half of the match this week, and if all goes well and people receive it well, then I'm going to do the second half of the match next week. So without further ado, we will get right into it. Alright guys, so we are paused at spawn with 3:30 on the game clock. Just want to talk a little bit about this first rollout and how we're going to approach it. As a combo, Tyrone and I are electing to go into the garage. Banny's going to go up top at the balcony, and Mackie is going to go left to distract a little bit on his own. It's an interesting way to do things just because you're separating your soldiers, but it can work. And the reason it works is because you sort of have presence on every side. Whereas if you just send your soldiers together, which most teams do, it becomes pretty obvious to spot where the entire team is. Now if you're sending your soldier and medic right alone like we do, and your scouts get the early call saying, okay, combo's in garage, and then all of a sudden they have another soldier jumping them and distracting from the left, it can sort of mess up an entire team. So we're going to go ahead and resume right now as we start rolling out to mid. Let me find myself here, okay. And Mackie's running gunboats as well, so he's not going to really wait for the full 300 buff, and that's a little bit of a downside, obviously, because he's not going to have the full health at mid. But as you can see, here he goes, jumping right away, and Tyrone and I heading into garage. Now we lose a scout early, if I remember here, which is never a good thing to lose your scout before you get out of garage. Yeah, Sizer goes down early as well as Mackie, so too early deaths for us, never a good thing. But I think we somehow managed to pull this out. Tyrone staying close to me, able to keep me alive, and their med went down early, so obviously a huge health advantage here for us. I'm trying to do whatever I can to dodge all this damage. I'm able to stay up, so that's huge. Whenever you can keep your medic on Granary, keep him alive at mid when the other team goes down, or the other team's medic goes down, that's such a big advantage because of the way the map's laid out that a lot of times you can just roll in and win the round that quickly. So we already have a scout capping. It's already capping second, and their medic just spawned. So expect a sniper here, and that's what I'm telling my team. Expect a sniper or a heavy. We do see a scout try to charge out, and that's sort of hard blue style, and it works a lot of time, but there he didn't get me to pop Uber, so they're still trying to hold it fairly close. The demos put stickies down, and we get the call right here to just go. We know they don't have Uber, we know the demo's close, so we start to head in. Tyrone is able to get the demo, which is huge, and we're able to secure the point. So if we go ahead and pause it right here at 5:07, I don't know if I'm completely happy with just going in and forcing Uber there. I think it probably had to be done, but now they're at a huge Uber advantage, and so you're going to probably most likely see me playing back. It's so important that when you understand the other team has that huge advantage, that you're as far back as you can be while still healing your teammates. So obviously you don't want to be all the way back in yard right now, but playing back towards either the Z door or the right hand door personally, I like playing the right-hand door a little more, just because it's easier to sort of escape. And the Z is, it does have a health pack over there, but it's such tight corridors for spam and stuff that it's probably better to sit on the right-hand side. So we'll see what happens here. Let's go ahead and resume at 5:07. So I know they have about a 75% advantage, and we're just sort of gonna sit back here. Tyrone's dead, and everyone on their team is alive. Mackie just traded with a scout, so you can see me sitting over here on the right-hand side. The Uber comes in. Banny tells me to back up, so I start backing up, and not really too effective of an Uber on their part. They're gonna kill Banny, but now I have a scout and a soldier. That's Tyrone coming in from the left-hand side, so we clean them up. Now we're down 2, but they're severely hurt. We know that because Banny had put a good amount of spam on him before he died, as well as the scout. So now we come back in right now, and we just inch this point. We're trying to retake it. We have scouts upstairs on the left, and I have forced to pop here. Unfortunately, the scout comes in and gets me to pop. They're 3 down, though, including their medic. So at this point, as long as we can sort of just secure the point, fend off whatever remaining bodies are going to come in, and there's a scout right there. And now 2 down, including their medic. We're going to try to get in right away, having the huge health advantage, and it looks like we're going to take this round. So let's go ahead and pause it and sort of recap what happened. As I said, we had to pop Uber early to take second, and then they went ahead and forced on us. So I had to understand that it's important to get out. As a medic, you always need to sort of do your best to keep track of Uber advantages, because your team's fighting and they're not always going to be able to keep track of those sort of things. So try to make a note of doing that if you don't already, and sort of keeping a rough estimate, knowing when their medic went down, as opposed to their Uber advantage and vice versa. So they forced back in. We were able to get out, keep myself alive in yard, and then sort of come back in strong and win the round. So we are going to go ahead and resume right now, as the round is just ending, and start with the second round. I think we do the same thing here. It worked out pretty well. I'm not sure if Mackie elects to go left or he comes with us right, but I'm pretty sure Tyrone and I do call right side once again, and we will see what happens. Banny's going to go up top again. It worked out pretty well the first time. He did go down, but he did a ton of damage before going down. And this time you can see Mackie walking a little bit slower to mid, trying to get more of a buff this time. But Tyrone and I doing the same thing, just trying to watch for damage, and they lose a scout early. I'm trying to stick with Mackie because I know that most of the combos over there, and I can see the pipes coming in before moving over to the point in Tyrone. There's a scout on me now, and it's sort of hit or miss at mid with medics nowadays. I mean, everyone tries to focus the medic and kill him. So if you're able to stay alive and win mid with your team, it's so huge. I've already said that like a million times, but it really is the truth. Although this time they were able to keep their medic alive, so we will see how that works out for them, and how we elect to push this as a team. Both teams 6 strong, and we're gonna see if we can take yard before they have presence out there. Although I think they're probably already out there. Mackie is out, letting us know it's time to go, or to try to push out. So it looks like we're going to be able to take yard clean here. So as we do take yard, Banny's alone on the right, so I'm telling someone to make sure they go help Banny, because we're all over here on the left. As a scout comes in and tries to pick me, he hits me for about 60, so a nice shot, but we end up taking him down. Now there's a little bit of a pause here, and when it pauses, I want to talk a little bit about something. Now, we saw their demo man lag out, so we're talking about what we're going to do when we unpause. And when their demo lags out, we know we can get in garage, and it's because their demo is going to spawn as we resume. The demo is going to spawn, and he's not going to be anywhere near the fight. So we're just talking about how we're going to approach this, and elect to, I think, go far left, and we try to go upstairs and sort of overtake their stairwell. We know there's a scout behind us, or we just picked that scout, so we know that he's down and their demo's not going to be in the fight. So now we're just going to go ahead and resume at 9:58 on the clock as we start to head in the garage here and sort of take upper. They're already down 3 members because their demo is not really in the fight, so their demo is just getting there now. And assuming that they're down 2, we sort of elect to just slowly push in. We don't have to pop Uber because there's no threat of a sniper or anything like that. But we both have Uber, so this could be an unsuccessful push just because they have the closer spawns, obviously. And I think we do end up failing this push. Yeah, I go down here, and their medic stays alive. So when we were talking about sort of understanding Uber advantages, it's important to know that by the time I spawn, they're going to have roughly 40% advantage. So I'm going to probably be sitting back a little bit and just waiting for them to come in. Now they already take the point before we even are able to sort of have a presence, considering we lost a lot of people. So I elect to sit back in yard and just build Uber because we know they're already at 80% here, and I'm pretty sure that they do push this advantage. They're smart players. They know that when they have advantage to just come out. So we're already going to elect. I'm telling Tyrone I think it's best to just sit back by the garage and wait for them to come in. And even though they lost a scout, I don't know if that's going to stop them from coming in. But we are close to Uber at this point. So 80%. And until I have it, or I'm very close, I'm still going to sit back here because I don't want to lose this advantage. As a medic, you got to keep yourself out of range of any sort of spam or harm. If you are this close to Uber, you got to make sure to have it. So as we move in garage, just sort of spamming, waiting for the demo to det his sticks. I think he does. Yeah, so Cal can just pop stickies, and we like to just push out right now. Pause it right here at 11:53. I'm not happy with this Uber pop. Tyrone wasn't able to sort of give me the call soon enough whether or not their whole team was out there. So we popped Uber, and they're just going to sort of hold on to it. Although, one thing we're going to do right now, and that is so crucial, is take a look at whose point of view. We're going to take a look at Sizer's point of view here, because he really does a nice job on the left-hand side. After they pop Uber, he really allows us to win this fight. And so we're going to go ahead and switch over to Sizer's point of view here, as he's still, there we go, he's over on the left-hand side. And we're going to go and resume right now at 53. And so they didn't even pop their Uber yet. And now we're looking, and they just popped Uber. So we're looking over, and look at Sizer. He's able to take down Dave AC and Hard Blue. So he clears out the entire left side. So crucial to have someone over there watching that left-hand side. And now he's going to go in. He's going to take down the medic as well, which is just huge and allow us to win the round. So really impressive stuff from Sizer there. And that just goes to show you, if you have sort of a hole in your offense or defense, it can really cost you. Not saying that Check 6 does, but Sizer was really able to capitalize over on that left-hand side. And even though we popped Uber way before they did, we were able to come back in and win the round. So third round here, I'm not sure what we do at middle. Switch back to my point of view. And it looks like we're going to stick with our right-hand side as it's working. We're sort of under the mindset, if it works, keep doing it. So that's what we're doing. We're heading over on the right, and I think we lose this mid, if I'm not mistaken. Tyrone jumps up. Mackie and Tyrone are both down early, as well as our scouts. So it ends up being just Banny 9, although they don't have a medic. And Banny's crazy. It's really tough to keep me alive or himself. So Check 6 won that mid, but their medic did go down. So feeling pretty confident we should be able to at least hold second point, because they're still respawning some people as well. So that right hand push didn't work out there. They probably adapted to it pretty well. And so now both of us medics spawn at pretty similar times, and we're going to elect to hold this a little differently than normal. I think I'd like to hold this on the right side, because I know Check 6 tends to favor that pushing in the stairwell room. So I trying to tell Tyrone, stay over right, buff the scouts, and if they do elect to come in right, we'll be able to stop them. So this is sort of the typical granary stalemate, as both teams hold Uber and just sort of wait. And standard stuff, we have Mackie watching up top and the scouts, and then Tyrone and Banny are watching sort of straight ahead and the left and Z. So there's something pretty important that happens here coming up. And as they get Uber and push in, we're going to go ahead and pause it. I'm going to wait a few seconds until they actually start to come in, but it should be very soon here. And this is something I remember from this match specifically, and going back to that medic decision making, let's go ahead and pause it at 51. Now I have Uber. They have Uber. I know that for a fact. Mackie goes down really early, and I get the call that their entire combo is slowly pushing in that right side. Now, Tyrone takes a lot of damage really quickly, and he's yelling at me to pop Uber. I don't pop Uber on him, and the reason is this. We lost Mackie, so we're down a soldier. If I popped Uber on Tyrone, by the time he was able to force their Uber, we would just be done. I mean, they weren't really too far in, but they had scouts and soldier and demo, so they were pushing all their forces in over there. So even though Tyrone was screaming at me to pop Uber, I didn't, and I'm happy with it. Not only because it ended up working out for us in the future, which you'll see, but just because I didn't think it was the right thing to do. You know, we lost Mackie, Tyrone was really hurt, so I'd have to keep the Uber on him the entire time to force theirs, and although yes, it could have worked out, we'll never know the outcome. I'm happy with the decision that I made. So it's important to be confident in times in your decision. So let's go ahead and resume at 51 and sort of see what happens. By the time I get over to Tyrone, he's so hurt, and Banny is able to get their Uber forced here, so he's able to make them pop Uber, and although it's just the three of us, I'm able to hold this Uber, so I can keep this until we get some spawns coming in, and it's going to allow us to push back in. So they send the demo man in, they send a soldier in to try to get me to pop, and I didn't take too much spam, so I wasn't forced to Uber. So now that they're down 2, because their demo man just suicided, and now we can re-push this. And we enter the point here, we get spam from some soldiers, and I get the call that a soldier up top, so you'll see that I get shot from a rocket here, and I do pop. Now Tyrone and I like to push out. Our whole team's up, and we assume they can cap the point. And although Tyrone's able to get their medic, I'm screaming for some more support out here because they are still alive as soldiers. So I come in, snag the health. Both of their soldiers are alive, so we are able to pick one of them and the scout, and now push back out. So again, if I had Ubered extra early there to save Tyrone, I don't think the same result would have happened. Again, we'll never know, but it just goes back to medic decision making, and sometimes you have to go against the grain and just be confident in your choice, and sometimes it won't work out, but just being confident and knowing that your team has to sort of rely on what you say a lot of the time in your decision. So now we're trying to retake middle, and I'm again alive with 4 health this time and able to stay alive, so that's crucial obviously if my team is able to kill that scout before I died. And now we have huge Uber advantage, and they're down 3, so we're just gonna head right into second, assuming we can pretty easily take this. And standard stuff again, having our scouts and our roamer go over on the left as we send in our combo on the right. Now we do have a scout who's entering point with us. We're forced to Uber here, which look at, we lost Clockwork and Mackie, so this is going to be a bad push. I already know that Tyrone and I are most likely going to go down here, and we do. So although we thought we could easily take 2, they were able to get Uber in time and just burn us on it. Something Check 6 does really well is build Uber in time and just sort of burn you when you least expect it. So yeah, so they're already capping mid, and I think we go in for a suicide play here. Nah, yeah, we do. We go in and try to stop it or kill their medic. Mackie and Banny and Clockwork all go in. Banny's able to get their medic with the help of Clockwork, so that's huge for us. Although we're not able to head back in, so we start backing up. But we're going to have big advantage, so we're going to have about 40-50% advantage. So Tyrone, I don't know what he's doing. I'm telling him to get back in here. It's just us alive now. So a mistake from Tyrone, I think, was jumping forward. He tried to save our scout, but now he almost goes down. So he's able to pick a scout. I leave him here again because I just know he's going to go down, and I'm able to back out. So yeah, their medic just spawned, so it looks like they're waiting on forward spawn. But we're able to hold this point. Clockwork just charged right into him because he knew they didn't have heals, and Banny and I are able to, with the help of Mackie, hold the point. So now we have huge advantage, and it sort of turned the tide in our favor here as we're heading to middle. Get the call that, you know, we're yelling for everyone get in, and Clockwork goes down, unfortunately. So it's just Banny and I, and we're really having trouble killing that scout. I'm forced to Uber here on Banny just because we're the only two alive, and I thought we were going to have our soldiers coming in soon enough. And yeah, there's Tyrone killing a scout and Mackie and I, but we are getting back capped. So a nice job from Trek 6 there. They sort of flanked a scout behind us and started the back cap, and now they have huge Uber advantage. It's going to be really tough for us to stop it. A mistake on our part, I think, just heading in without our entire team probably to middle. In the heat of the moment, you sort of just go, and looking back, we probably should have waited for our soldiers, or at least Tyrone, to head in there with us, because Banny and myself in there against 4 of them was, even with an Uber, is really tough, obviously. So they're taking middle. They have Uber, or second point, excuse me. They have Uber, and a lot of times Mackie likes to go sniper here, but knowing they already have it and they're just going to be coming in, soldier's probably a better option. So it looks like, yep, we are slowly losing people, and most likely going to lose the round. And being that this match is just about halfway over, I'm going to go ahead and cut off this portion of the video. So it's a good length. This video will probably be about 22 minutes or so. And let me know what you guys thought. I know that sometimes it's tough as a medic to make those decisions that go against your team, or just be sort of confident in your decisions. But once you can do that, you'll be a much better medic and sort of understanding the flow of the game, and you know, just having that confidence in yourself. So let me know. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Post on the forums, or post right onto the video itself. And hopefully next week I can bring you part 2 of this video, which will be the second half of the match. That was still exciting, although we won the last 3 rounds. Sort of a spoiler if you didn't know, but it was back and forth again, and there should be some more interesting stuff to talk about. So CB with My Gaming Edge signing out. Have a good one, guys. Take care.